Hey guys, so today's video is going to be about 5 habits which changed my life in best way possible, and these are some general stuff which we don't really pay attention to and don't really observe and think that these things can change our lives in best way possible. So the first thing which changed my life is self-love. I have actually talked about it in my previous videos. I think in my 2017 recap and 2018 resolution video that's my resolution which I want to do is self-love, and it really helped me because sorry like I mentioned in that video that I used to be a person who would always give all my time to other people, who would always be there for other people, who would prioritize them more than I prioritize myself. And when it comes to me, when I needed someone to just listen to me if I'm going through some rough times, I would realize that those people were not there for me at that time when I needed them. So I started realizing that I have to respect myself first. I have to love myself first before I give those value to other people, because honestly you can't expect from people to respect you and value you when you don't respect or value yourself. I know I use my hands a lot when I talk. I'm not saying don't be there for people, don't think about other people. Think about other people knowing your self-worth as well, because there's a huge difference between self-love and being selfish. The second habit which changed my life is shifting my mindset. I used to think that however I am at that time, and I used to think that that's my nature and that's how I'm gonna be for the rest of my life. I used to think that way, and especially when you're a teenager, you always think whatever you know is just the truth. You know the best. No one knows better than you, which is so wrong, because I used to hear people who were older than me, who are in their 20s, always say that teenagers always do it, but they are gonna realize that once they get older. And I always thought, no, they don't know what they're talking about. I know more better than them. And that's how most of us teenagers are. Now I'm 22 and I realize whatever they were saying, it was right, because I experienced it in my life, and now I know that when they were saying that we don't know anything is actually right. In general, like people, whenever people think that they know everything, they literally don't know nothing yet, because there's so much in life. Even when you feel like you know a lot of stuff, you are still missing out so much stuff. That learning process never ends. When I started shifting my mindset, okay, that's how I was, how about more positivity in my life, like who I'm hanging out with, who are my friends, and talking to relatives who actually are positive and not to who are negative. Mindset is actually a game which you have to master and realize the stuff that you can be whatever you want to be if you put your mindset in right place. I was always keep worrying about that situation and would just expect that something's positive is gonna happen to me, but it doesn't happen till I actually shift my mindset and start focusing on the solution of that problem rather than just worrying about the problem. Our third habit which really changed my life is controlling my thoughts, controlling my negative thoughts and putting them into positive thoughts. I used to imagine stuff like all the time that that's how it's gonna be. All the time I had that imaginary life I would always live in than living in reality. I always end up regretting myself why it did not happen, and I would not even think that it was my fault that I had that imaginary life. It was my mistake, but at the time I did not accept it, and I was just like, that person did me wrong and those friends did me wrong. I started expecting so much from people because of my imaginary life instead of being in reality and see what's actually going on. So it's very important to control your thoughts. Don't create your fake imaginary life, because it's gonna always make you hurt in the end when the reality would hit you. So make sure you're living in reality and making your reality better than your imaginary life. Number 4th habit which really changed my life is giving time to myself to learn more stuff, to not just watch movies and listen to songs and all that. I started watching more videos and following more people who are very positive, because there are actually so many pages, so many accounts on Instagram. If you're feeling lonely, follow this page, and if I am on that page, it would make me feel more worse. There are all the depressed quotes and stuff are in there. That would make me feel even more worse. Do not follow those stupid accounts which makes you feel more depressed. Follow more influencers, follow more positive people. Don't follow that negativity on Instagram or in real life or on YouTube, anywhere, because I used to do it, and then I started realizing that why am I even spending my time into this negativity when I actually search and give my time to people who can teach me the stuff which I need, rather than just make me more depressed and depressed and depressed. When I started giving myself that time, I started realizing so much little stuff which I never knew because I never gave much time to myself. The fifth habit which really helped me is accepting things the way they are. I used to be a very horrible person. I used to always try to control things even when I see they are not under my control. I would always think, no, I know I can do it, but know that giving up is not always a bad idea. Sometimes you have to let things go when they start making the situation more worse than how it actually was. Could have been more better if I would have just let it go. Then I started accepting things the way they are. It just made things more better than how I was thinking that it's the best. It wasn't the best for me, and which made me really grateful. Whatever you have and whatever you couldn't have, just be grateful for everything, because only God knows what you need and you have to trust his timing. I think I was giving too much inspirations. Even if you guys didn't get any inspiration, I at least reminded myself. And I will see you in my next video next week, hopefully. Bye.